The final score, Wellington Phoenix 1, Wrexham 0, and Wrexham finish off the tour down under with a defeat. Like I said after the game in Sydney, though, I mean, it's not how the results go, it's how the team prepares for the next season. And this is fairly satisfactory, although nobody wants to lose, and I'm sure that the players will feel really frustrated. The goal coming in the second half, an error by Arthur Okonkwo, low cross was his, but he dropped it. And a young substitute, Luke Flowerdew, was able to tap it into the empty net. But in all honesty, Knicks didn't really threaten very much. Apart from that, the very few chances that they created, Wrexham made chances but didn't take them. And the first half, Wrexham were the better side, but yeah, maybe those chances weren't so obvious. We played in a different shape, which is really interesting, lining up with the box midfield, something Phil Parkinson hasn't been doing, despite using the back three throughout his reign at Wrexham, with Lee and Ashfield wide. And it certainly, I think, addressed a vulnerability we showed in the second game on the transition. And it certainly meant that when we defended, it was very hard to get through the middle of our team. So because of that, Wellington really struggled when they did have possession. But Wrexham had most of the possession, most of the pressure. Didn't really work the keeper enough, I think, in the first half, in all honesty. A couple of half chances. Ashfield had a decent opportunity when his touch was too heavy in the penalty area and the ball got away from him. Second half started with Wrexham really looking on top. Wellington made a lot of changes at the break, and Wrexham immediately thought, okay, this started to look a little like a mismatch. But then came that goal, which was really avoidable. Wrexham responded terrifically well with some fantastic pressure. Lee going close to the header, Len Lee hitting the bar, and then drawing a fantastic save from the keeper when he drove a volley as it bounced just over his shoulder, but the keeper diving to his right, able to get across and save it. At this point, Lee is just constantly unmarked between the lines, arriving in the box and getting chances, pretty much all teed up by Ryan Longman, definitely all teed up from the right-hand side. Wrexham made changes, which again I think just reminds you of the purpose of this match. You wouldn't bring Longman and Lee off if in a real game they were bossing it like that. Barnes continued where Longman left off, put some good stuff into the box. Farl and Palmer were now the players in the middle. It was Farl who was getting on the end of it, and he just wasn't able to work the new keeper with his headers. Wrexham showing lots of energy, looking a better side. Maybe it pieced out a little bit at the very end. So frustration for Wrexham in terms of the outcome, but interesting to see a new shape, interesting to see promising performances by the likes of Longman and Barnett down the right-hand side. George Evans has some nice touches in midfield when he came on. Interesting to see that, like I said, the box midfield and how exactly it worked. And Harry Ashfield was certainly lively in that right-sided attacking midfield position. But ultimately, yeah, okay, we come back now. Successful trip down under, and we've got another couple of weeks left to prepare for the serious stuff in the Championship. The full analysis podcast, the final whistle podcast, will be coming up later on today. But with a final score of Wellington Phoenix 1, Wrexham 0, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.